What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Tonyd2wild checking in once again, back with the bank of the day, guys, with the review of the upcoming Jordan 11 Velvet Bred. The Jordan 11 Velvet Bred is set to release on November 11th for a retail price point of $230. And I'm going to be 100% honest, because if we're going to be very opinionated on this, I like the shoe. I think the shoe actually looks very dope. I don't have an issue with the shoe. I do have an issue with the price. $230 is where we're at now with the Jordan 11. Now, at the end of the day, some of y'all got that, some of y'all don't. I'm not here to, we'll get back to price point later. Let's focus here on the shoe, because that's what you're here for. You probably don't, need me to tell you about what you should spend your money on or not. It's your money at the end of the day. But what we have here is a all velvet Jordan 11 Bred. Upper is full decked out in that velvet material for where the patent leather is, as well as what the mesh is supposed to be on the Jordan 11, and as well as on the tongue. The back portion here, as you can see on that Jordan, the Jumpman logo is in a red, but it's like a metallic red, and it's plastic. It is not of a metal or anything of that nature, but it is a plastic, and it is a popped out type of material compared to the typical embroidered logo that you usually see there. Same for on the back of the 23, which is normally printed. It is, I would say it is still somewhat of a screen print, but it is a screen printed press that has a texture on it. So what I'm saying is, I believe this 2-3, you can get a little piece of paper, peel it off, stick it on there and press it down, and then you get that there. Whereas normally on the back portions of these, they're typically screen printed as well, but not textured. You don't feel it. These are actually like popped out. You could rub your finger and actually feel the lines, and the actual texture itself doesn't feel like that material of that is a print. It feels more like it could be like a plastic. So like a plastic pressed down, glued on the back of that 23. So it's a little bit different. On the tongue, you have, of course, the Jumpman Jordan featured on the third spacing in red. You have also on the inside a red inside with a black Jumpman, which maybe we can get. Here's that. Yeah, you see it? There you go. So overall, very solid, real carbon fiber on the bottom. And to say also, this is a women's release, and it is not in extended sizes. So the max you can get is a women's size 12, which is to a men's 10.5. This particular pair is a size 10, which is a size 8.5 in men's. It fits like typical Jordan 11s for the most part, where, they run a little snug, a little bit. Some people decide to go a size up or half a size up. You can do what you want to do. I like my 11s to be a little bit more snug because they tend to crease very easily. Now, with this one being in a velvet material, that type of creasing, I'm very curious to see how that ends up turning out. Now, one thing I will say, with it being a women's exclusive and being a women's Jordan 11, women Jordan 11 usually have skinnier and slimmer laces. And with that said, I don't know if it's more so because it is velvet, but it is slimmer on the lacing system for the most part. And what I mean by that is, you have your Jordan 11 Concord, and then you have your Jordan 11 Bred, and you can see there's a slight difference in thickness of the two. Nothing, nothing like, oh my God, but it is worth this pointing out, because typically with women GS and women Jordan 11s, you get slimmer laces or skinnier laces than what you get with your typical adult men's size laces. And we see that featured here on this pair as well. The lace tips are red on the lace tips, and they are of a metal type of material. It is not like plastic, so you have that there as well. And yeah, the outsole, slightly translucent, you can see some through there, the Jumpman logo, the pods, and of course it is in that Bred. It literally has the same colorway and same look of a Jordan 11 Bred for the most part. Even the toe cap itself, you can see it bleed through there. Let me go get a Bred. Let me just go get my Bred 11. Okay, so yeah, I wanted to look at this particular pair because I just wanted to confirm, and I believe this is like a 2019 pair or something like that, or I want to say they released in 2019, because the production date says all the way up to July 2019, and usually these drop in December, so 5 months, that sounds about right. But I just wanted to look to see the outsole. I wanted to see if there was some slight differences, because one thing that I was looking at, and that's what I thought it was, is that I just didn't remember the toe cap on the regular Breds being as translucent as this one. And I just feel like the outsole itself is a little bit more vibrant on that velvet, and you can see it here. Now, these have been worn, obviously. Could the color be a little bit less saturated because of it being worn and stuff on it? Yes. And just yellowing and aging, even though you don't really see the yellowing, but just the aging itself, yes. But I do feel like there is a difference. Obviously, we can see the two. Seems to be a little bit more brighter, a little bit more vibrant on that pair. And then also, once again, the laces, you can see there as well. But that doesn't take away from it. It's just to show you the differences of the two, because I think, you know, of course, you want to compare it to the Bred, you need to see the Bred, and that is a little bit there. As far as that goes, though, all upper in velvet. This is not the first time we've seen that. We've seen the burgundy velvets for the ladies. I want to say there was a navy velvet as well for the ladies. And then we have this Bred version for the ladies. And I'm just looking at it right now, right? Like, just looking at it from, it's pretty much spot on. Definitely looks a little bit more blacked out. You have the patent leather black, and then you have the mesh black, which are two different textures. So you have a little bit slight difference of that black. This looking way more pitch black, and this one looking black as well, but a little bit more faded, where this is all one material, so it blends all in, so it looks darker overall. But for the most part, it's doing what it's supposed to be doing, and that is being a velvet Jordan 11. $230, November 11th. I think these will do decent for the most part, especially the bigger sizes. I feel like men are gonna jump in on this shoe at the end of the day. $230 though is pushing it. In my opinion, I already said before, 250 is where I'm gonna cut off, and I just can't know. I'll review Jordans, but I'm not buying them unless, if you go to $250, I may buy one Jordan a month if that's even the case, right? $250, and what I'm saying is $250 for the 11s. Once they get to $250 on the 11s, that means that the regular Jordans will probably be like $230. We're currently at $230 right now on these, and regular Jordans are like $210, $215. So it's about half, right? So you're looking at like $230 on regular Jordans, $250 on these. That's where it's just, we've been saying it for a long time. Like, I remember saying it about, man, 200 is a lot, you know, when it was 170. 210 is a lot, you know, when the Jordan 11s were 210, the regular Jordans were 180 and all that, 190, whatever. We keep going up and up and up. But I feel like, really, real talk, like 250 is too much, because foams are still 240 and 230, depending on like if it's a pro or whatever, one and all that. Those are still like kind of maintained a very similar price point for a long time. But if we get to the point where Jordans are the same price of foams at 250 and 240, that's where I just can't get with it no more. And it don't matter what it is. Like, if it's a white cement, I'll probably do it or whatever. But if it's a new colorway or anything, if it's a shoe that I need, even then, like if I have a white cement now and a new white cement drops, like I'm not gonna, and my other one's still good, I'm not doing it no more. Like Jordan brand, we gotta figure something out, you know? You're gonna have to figure something out, because I can't get behind it. $230 though for these is just too much. And I know it's gonna be like that for women. Women have been so used to buying, you know, the men pair and then the GS pair and then the kids pair. Like, that's how it's been. Men being 200, women being 150, kids being like whatever, like that price, right? What Jordan brand did though is they made the women's, they brought up the women's side of everything and now made women's sneakers, but they charging them the men prices. See, what used to be, like I stated before, was these would be a grade school, so it'd be a grade school price. And women loved that. Women jumped on that. That's why women had tons of Jordans. But the moment they said, well, you know what? Let's make women releases, specific women releases, not grade school releases, and charge these women the men prices. And that's where you have stuff like this. The Kobe Reverse Grinch dropped. They had them in men's sizes. I believe they had them in women's sizes. Or they had them in men's sizes, and then I think they had them in women's sizes and then GS sizes or whatever, but the GS size and the women's size were damn near the same exact shoe. Another example was that it was a Jordan 11 that did the same, where they had a Jordan 11 that was a men's and a Jordan 11 that was a women's. Same exact shoe. The 10 in the woman was the same as the 8.5 in the men, but the prices were the same. It just, what I'm basically saying is $230 is too much for ladies out there with feet that are like this small. You know, they don't want to spend that much money. They're used to spending the grade school price. So when you have a Jordan 11 Legend Blue drop, the men can get the $230, and then the grade school, the women will eat that up at the $150 or whatever. But if you drop in a Jordan 11 Legend Blue in men's and a Jordan 11 Legend Blue in women's, and the women's go all the way to that 4Y, but it's a 5.5 in women's, and they're charging them $230 for that 5.5 in women's, they're gonna go for the grade school first. And if you keep forcing that more and more, you're gonna lose your women customer base in general. Sorry for the little rant, I just had to say it. With that all said though, be on the lookout November 11th, $230. I love y'all, I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna end you guys and girls off with an on-foot review. Peace.